Alright, so today what we're doing is we're rebuilding the worst possible team on MLB The Show. I'm using a new roster today. What I'll do is I'll put it up here in the top corner so you can see the username of the person who created it. I went through it. It looks pretty good. I know a lot of you guys have been telling me to use like MLB The Show's roster, just like download the most recent update. The thing is, they are missing some players and they don't have like the most recent draft picks and a couple other things. So even though MLB The Show's roster is good, I like using custom rosters because it gives me the full rosters, new draft picks, all the most recent roster moves. So I'm using this person's roster. So search them up, use the most recent one. So today, like I said, the worst team in MLB The Show. It's not 0 overall, it's actual players on rosters. So I hope you guys do enjoy it. If you do, hit that thumbs up down below, subscribe to the channel if you're new and enjoyed the content, and of course get in the comment section, let me know some other video ideas that you have. I've got a couple other stockpiled that I want to get to, but I'm definitely gonna be looking in the comment section, seeing what you guys have in mind. Like I always say, make sure you go and follow all social medias in the description below, especially Twitter. And that's really about it. Let's get into this video. Let me show you the roster. All right, I'm gonna let you know this team is bad. It's the worst team, obviously. So it's not 0 overall. These are actual, like, as far as I know, these are actual players. I know Dennis Santana is part of the Dodgers organization. I still think he's one of the higher rated prospects. I think I've heard his name thrown around a little bit. I don't know if they're starting to lose hope for him or what. I mean, he's still only 22, so he's still pretty young. We've got Gerardo Carrillo, Jorge Carlos Vera, Ryan Foley, and then Brian Keller. I mean, you looked at the stats, you saw them. It's not pretty. We've got Ben Hernandez, Ryan Garten, who had some time with the Rays, and I mean, you know, 2017 doesn't look too bad. He allowed quite a few runs, but it's not terrible. Kyle McGowan looks like he's had some time with the Nationals, had a pretty rough time with the Nationals. Ryan Sheriff has had some times with the Cardinals as well. You can see their stats, not great. You got Rob Kaminsky, and then back to Ben Hernandez. Our two quote-unquote closers are Jeremy Walker, who had some time last year with the Braves. Actually, not terrible. Not terrible. And then we've got Alex McRae, who's actually had some time with the Pirates. Yeah, it wasn't great, though. You can definitely see it just wasn't a good time. Our two catchers, Brian Pins, and a player that I didn't know had a potential when I saw that he was 48 overall, but I know he's part of the Cardinals organization, and Carlos Soto. Our first basemen are Jackson Whitaker, Alan de San Miguel, and Jackson Miller. We've got two Jacksons at first. Second base, we've got Camilo Quintero. I don't think he can hit the ball out of the infield. That's basically those stats right there. CJ Alexander and Devin Mann are going to be our two third basemen. Christian Donahue and Justin Lopez are our shortstops. And then in the outfield, we've got James Beard, who is a White Sox prospect. I believe he was drafted last, not this like most recent draft, but the draft before. I think that was the case. I think that's what the case. Robbie Podorsky, and then Bryce Bush. And we have the creme de la creme, Stone Garrett, who's 43 overall, but he's super upset that he's a bench player. I mean, dude, come on, you're 39 overall right now. Don't get upset and butthurt because you're riding the bench. You don't even deserve to be in the bigs. So this is what our team's looking like. It's not great. It definitely is gonna get roughed up a little bit. I'm thinking about trading a couple players because they do have some potential. That way we can actually get some players in return. Like, I didn't know this guy had a potential when I picked him up. I just knew he was like one of the lowest rated catchers in the game. That's why I took him. But since he's got a potential, it's kind of like, I feel like I should trade him while he's got a potential. But then I feel like that's kind of cheating. So what I'm going to do is I feel like trading these players is kind of cheating. I feel like we should just have to work with what we got and kind of build from there. I don't know what you guys would think. I think, you know, maybe trading the A potential guys a little bit of a cheat, but there are a couple other players that have like B potential. So maybe trade those guys, see if we can get anything from that, because you can see there's only like what, 4 that have B potential. So maybe that's what I'll do. I'll go out, trade those guys, and then go from there. I feel like signing free agents season 1, like right now, is a little bit of cheating as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to trade these B potential guys for whatever I can get to kind of boost the team up a little bit. and then we'll go from there. So let me see what we can find. All right, normally trading with the Phillies for some bullpen help, not the best of ideas, but we're gonna do it today. We're gonna trade for Jose Alvarez, Blake Parker, and David Hale. I know. It's not good, but we're gonna trade Dennis Santana and Ben Hernandez. David Hale, you know, like whatever. I just wanted a little bit better of a starting pitcher. And then Blake Parker, decent stats. And then I looked at Adam Morgan too, which, can I get Adam Morgan instead? I can't. So I'll take Blake Parker. That's fine. It's 1 year. And then Jose Alvarez, I'm going to pick him up. We're going to trade Dennis Santana and Ben Hernandez, like I've mentioned. I really just wanted Jose Alvarez. I kind of want Adam Morgan now. So how am I going to get this done? Do you guys want one of these like F potential guys? Will that get the deal done? I feel like that's okay. Like maybe not. I feel like that's kind of trading someone that I shouldn't. So what about anybody? Kyle McGowan? That's fine. There we go. That's the trade now. I changed my mind. We're going to go with this instead. All right, so I'm going through Trade Finder just to kind of see what I can get. And you guys can't see it now, but like I'm going through it. A lot of teams are offering me like relief pitchers. I don't want aging relief pitchers, even though I took a couple. One trade that I did see that actually offered me a position player that was like, okay, that's not terrible, was the Cubs for Cameron Maybin. So what I'm going to try to do is I'll take Cameron Maybin. That's fine. Whatever. It's not like it's the worst pickup. I'm going to see if they'll take this guy. You're not interested in this trade. Oh, okay. Oh, that was because he was a free agent and then I signed him to like get the super low rated pitcher. So okay, I'm not gonna be able to trade him now, maybe next year. So this is gonna be the last trade. I'm gonna get Cameron Maybin unless they have somebody else that they're like willing to throw in to make this deal a little bit sweeter. Can I get like a 60 out of this deal? Maybe someone like, can I get Caraway? All right, Caraway's a little ambitious, but like a Rivas, okay, maybe 60 is a little too high. If I can get Not Wagwu. Osich? Can I have Osich? You'll give me Osich? Okay. Underwood? No. Let's see here. CD Pelham? No. No. Dylan Maples? No. I can get James Norwood, but like that's not a better pitcher than what I already have. So I'll take Osich. Whatever. At least it's a little bit better of a reliever for us. And there we go. At least we have a little bit of a bat to add to the lineup. Let me make sure these guys are in the major league squad. So now we have an extra player in the majors. So let's get rid of Stone Garrett. Sorry, bud, you're going to be upset even more now because you're going to get sent down to AAA. But, you know, sometimes that happens. So now we're down a starter, which disappointing. We'll throw McRae there. It'll have to work. And then someone's going to have to work some extra time in the long innings. But okay, small improvements. It's not going to be pretty at all. Cameron Maybin's going to be our leadoff hitter, I guess. The CP will figure out the rest of the lineups, and then I'll double check them to make sure they're all good. But yeah, that's the team. I mean, we're going to get rocked. We're going to get throttled. Yeah, it's not going to be pretty. So I'll show you the draft, see how that goes. Hopefully we can get some like 70 overall player that we can shoot right into the lineup. Otherwise, we'll see how this goes. All right, we're currently 9-52. We'll take a look and see what teams were. Oh, we beat the Rays? No way. Let's take a look at that. How did we win? So Lopez, Quintero, and then Soto with 3 RBIs. Okay. Oh, we won it in the 8th. That's what I'm talking about. All right, so we beat the Rays. We beat the Orioles by 1, whatever. We beat the Phillies twice. We won a series. No way. We beat the Mets. And then we beat the Giants, which, yeah, whatever. We beat the Reds. Luis Castillo went down, and then that's kind of where we're sitting at right now. So let's take a look at the draft real fast. We took Jared Poe. Was like really the best player available at the time, so I'll take it. 69 overall, nice. 94 potential, nice to see that. We've got this guy. He's not going to get too much better, but a player we can just stick right in the lineup right away. We've got Nunez, Corona, Redmond, Cooper, and Jimmy Andrews. You know, it wasn't fantastic, but like Poe's a good pickup. And then DeSalvo, I'm pretty happy with. The rest are kind of like whatever. We'll be okay. So that's the draft. I'll see you guys at the end of the year, kind of round things up, and then hopefully get some good signings going. So we actually, second half of the season, not too bad. I'm pretty happy with it. 20 and 142. We won 11 games. This kind of like after we took a little bit of a pause. So to look at the draft, I mean, you know, we did poorly. Like 82 games out. It was bad. We got 11th in speed, so at least we're not last in speed. The Dodgers, holy cow, 115 wins. The Twins, the Angels. Excuse me? Excuse me, the Angels. Let me take a look at the Angels. Where are they? What do they got? Ohtani in the outfield. Okay. But like, did they go out and get a pitcher? How did they do that? I don't know. I'm perplexed. But okay, the Angels won the division. Just absolute, my mind is blown. But here we go. Let's take a look at the rest of the league. Grossman. Okay. Hits. Nelson Cruz had the most hits. We got some doubles. We got a couple triples there. Kyle Tucker. All right. Nelson Cruz with 60 home runs, 54 for Juan Soto. Okay. All right. So let's take a look at the awards. MVP, Juan Soto and Nelson Cruz. Garrett Cole and Aaron Nola. And then looking at the rest of the league, these are the award winners. Rookie of the Year, Davy Garcia and Alec Boehm. Nice. All right, this is where things get super ugly. Jeremy Walker. Potential went up. Okay. Terrible season, but your potential went up. Kaminsky's went down. We've got Sheriff, Garten, Osich. Osich was okay. Okay, Alvarez. Definitely keeping you around. You only pitched 33 innings, but I'm keeping you around. Morgan did pretty solid in his 84 innings of work. And Osich pitched 127 innings. You know what? It's not terrible. Like, for what I was expecting, that's not bad. David Hale. Okay. McRae, G's. 8. Almost an 8. A 7. Oh, man. That's ugly. So, starting pitching is definitely somewhere we're going to have to spend a little bit of cash this offseason. Let's take a look, see what we got here. Okay. 59. Devin Mann, 187. Okay, 232. I like seeing that. We got a nice little 232. Cameron Maben. 21 home runs, though. Okay. 214, 205, 180, 195. Oh, boy. This is ugly. This is really ugly. So, yeah. So, who was our home run leader? 5. Bryce Bush. Bryce Bush was our lead. Cameron Maben had some home runs, but like I ain't gonna take that into. We had 5 as our home run leader. So the Indians defeated the Dodgers in the World Series, and let's just get into see. Oh wow. Oh okay. I mean, I knew the Joe Randoms were gonna retire, but I did not expect Donahue, who was actually our starting shortstop, to quit. Garten, okay, that's fine, whatever. And then McRae. All right, so that's a little bit of a bummer. So we're gonna have to fill out a lot of our roster. Exclusive negotiations. I did say I wanted to bring back Alvarez. Let's do like $4 million for 3 years. We'll do 2 years. Let's not get a little too ambitious. We'll give him $3 million over 2 years. And Cameron Maben. What do you want? 1.8 a year. It's not that I don't want to sign him. It's just I don't think he's gonna sign for too cheap. So I'm just gonna hold off because I have a feeling I'm gonna have to be a little frugal this offseason since we have nobody in our squad. We barely have enough to keep roster. So we're gonna have to sign a lot of players. I mean, you can see we don't even have a full MLB squad. AAA needs a few players. AA needs a lot. So yeah, we need to sign a lot of players this offseason. Our budget's decently healthy. It's just, we're just gonna have to spend some money. That's basically what it comes down to. Arbitration, I'm gonna give it to Hale. He'll probably be like a 4 or 5 in the rotation after we sign some players. Morgan, definitely gonna bring him back. Osich, if it's $850, so I definitely think I can get it, similar price tag. Give these guys contracts. Yeah, definitely going to give those guys contracts. And then let's see what we can get here. Because I can't just go out and like throw big contracts at everybody. But I do have to start to bring in some better players. So I'm trying to think of like who are some good players that we can sign on the cheap and help us out. Like Nelson Cruz might be one that I have to just pick up because I know he's going to hit like 20, 30 home runs. And that's going to help us out. But at the same time, I want players that kind of like will hold their value. And Nelson Cruz isn't one of those players. So, ooh. Yes. I'll throw you a big contract. You can definitely join the squad. Excuse me? Okay, this guy was already in free agency, so I'm not gonna sign him. He wasn't a pick that he wasn't like a draft pick that didn't get signed. This guy is a draft pick that did not get signed. I will sign him. But okay, so these guys were like CPU generated players, so I'm not gonna pick up those guys. I feel like that's a little cheat that I shouldn't be doing. I know this guy was actually just signed by the Cubs in real life. He was actually just picked up. And he doesn't look too bad, but I definitely want to bring in like kind of like MLB ready players. Like Didi Gregorius could be one. And looking around the league, there's definitely, whoa, this dude's got a large neck. What? It looks like Jabba the Hutt. Sorry, man. I had to say it. All right, so I'm gonna look around, see what we can find, and then I'll see you guys next season. Hopefully, we can get something that'll like kind of at least not make us the worst team in baseball. So I'll see you guys next year. All right, so I may have went a little overboard in free agency. I'm not gonna lie, but we had to fill a lot of the roster, and there were a lot of good players that kind of snuck through free agency that I did not expect. So let's just talk about it because there's a lot to talk about. All right, here we go. So the big ones. I'm only gonna show you the big ones. So here we are. So we had this guy. Signed him just in case, you know, his potential starts going up. Maybe he turns into a really good hitter. Jonah Bartley was available. I figured we should pick him up. Burrell Caraway, for some reason, he snuck through the Cubs organization, I think. Yeah, he's part of the Cubs organization. He was drafted this year in real life. For some reason, he was a free agent. So I decided to pick him up. I was like, all right, might as well. Other one, Wellington Castillo. We needed a better catcher. We do have that A potential guy, but we need an MLB ready catcher. Wellington Castillo, I signed him on a 1-year deal. Or a 1 year with the club option, so I'm not freaking out about this signing at all. One of the better hitting catchers that was available in free agency. Almora Jr. decided to pick him up, kind of a backup option. We've got Mark Melanson. We needed one more bullpen option that was MLB ready. Mark Melanson was the guy that I decided to go with. Carlos Rodon. I decided to skip the Rule 5 draft entirely. I don't really like using the Rule 5 draft because a lot of the time the CPU just lets either really good top prospects go, or they just have some random like really good pitcher that's available, or random really good player that just wasn't on the MLB squad. Carlos Rodon was one of them. You know, I'm kind of thinking about I thought about releasing him, and then I was like, you know what? This was the one player the CPU chose. I'll let it stick. You know, like if he does poorly, I'm just going to let him walk in free agency. That's just how it's going to go. And then there was a couple other players that I got in free agency that like were kind of nice that I wanted to show. Blake Swihart, nothing big, just a backup option for catcher. Jacoby Jones, figured this is a good center fielder to have. He didn't play at all last year, so I thought, okay, let's just bring him in, see how he does. Philip Irving, another one of those players that could be decent for us, but again, super cheap. Luis Renifo was definitely a guy I had on my radar. I think he's going to be decent for us. Yoshi Tsutsugo, a free agent. Don't understand it. He had an okay year last year. I'm hoping he can come in and just rake. That's what I'm hoping for. We got Didi Gregorius on a 2-year deal, 1-year deal. He had a pretty okay year last year. We brought in Crush Davis, who only played in 7 games last year, so I'm hoping he pops off. Ricky DeSalvo we drafted. And Tommy La Stella was another one. Had a pretty good year last year, so I'm hoping he can fill that second base hole that we have. We basically had a hole in like every spot. Hunter Strickland we brought in, just bullpen. David Hernandez, we need some bullpen help. Didn't pitch at all last year. Robbie Erlin didn't pitch at all last year. He's gonna be a starter for us. And Tyler Beatty was another one. Didn't pitch at all last year. Was available in free agency. Decided to take a really good contract as well. I thought, okay, pretty good. Homer Bailey had a good year last year. Probably won't do that again, but at least we have another pitcher in the rotation. And Alex Wood as a long reliever, I thought you can't go wrong. You can't go wrong. So this is what the team's looking like. Crazy amount of changes. We obviously didn't go out and get like a really good pitcher or a really good hitter or anything like that. We just got players that can fill holes and just kind of do the job until we get really, really good. I do want to make a trade. I think Yoshi Tsutsugo is a player that I probably should trade. You know, A potential, could probably get something really good for him. You guys can see. Oh, I forgot to mention, there were 2 players that I signed. Those 2 free agents that I mentioned that were like B potential. Lonnie Stemley looks decent. I was like, ooh, that's a good pickup. And then who was the other one? He was it a pitcher? There was another free agent that I showed you guys. Was it Rosa? I think it was Jaime Rosa. I decided to pick him up as well. So those are the 2 free agents. And then, yeah, the rest of the minors is a mess. So I'm not even going to show you. But yeah, this is the team. I'm thinking trading Tsutsugo is probably the best in terms of being able to get something in return. I'm thinking probably should get a starting pitcher because we don't really have any good future guy or like guys who can help us out in the future. We're all looking at like aging pitchers who can only stick around for a couple seasons or maybe even a season. So I think trading Tsutsugo is probably the best move. Let's see what kind of pitching we can get. Talking about a pitcher that could develop into something really good and is going to help us out, Sandy Alcantara. We're going to just straight up trade him for Yoshitomo Tsutsugo, and hopefully this works out for us. We are down a outfielder now. I mean, we could just use Almora. I think I'm just going to sign somebody in free agency and see what's available. We can get Talkman the Sockman, Billy Hamilton, Brian Goodwin. Do we just go like Eric Thames and like hope he just hits nothing but home runs for us? Oh, I guess this was our starting left fielder. So I guess we kind of need someone that actually can like play every single day. This is maybe not the best move that we traded him away, but we really did need pitching. So who could we get? You know what? I'm just gonna bring in Goodwin. 1-year deal. We'll do something like that. You want a longer contract? All right, whatever. There's the move. And then our left fielder will probably just be Brian Goodwin. And that should do it. Like, I'm not going to change up the team too much more. I feel like we're pretty good. And I want to keep some of these players. And I don't really want to go out and trade a bunch of them. This was the guy we drafted last year. I want to see how he does. But yeah, so far, so good. You know, are we a playoff team? We might sneak in just because we do have some, like, kind of glitchy players that sometimes do well, but overall I think we're pretty good. So yeah, I'm gonna leave it like this. I'm gonna see how the team does, and I'll see you guys at the end of the year. I'm gonna skip the draft. I'm not gonna show you guys the draft, but yeah, this is the team. We got a lot going on, so I'll see you guys at the end of it. I said I was gonna skip the draft, but I couldn't. This was way too good. I mean, Fred Deerdorf, decent pick, not the best. Kelvin Whitfield, again, decent pick, whatever. Augustine Villanueva, Kenji Sasaki, 70 overall already, 80 potential. Wilson Bridges, 70 overall, 84 potential. 68 overall with 87 potential. And then Richard Medeiros, 69 overall with 91 potential. I went pitcher heavy. I felt like this is an area where I'm going to need the most help. And a lot of these guys are really good already. So pretty solid draft. So at the deadline, I decided to take a look at the trade market, see what was available in the trade block. Nick Whitgren is having a really good year as a reliever. Got 1 more year of arbitration, and I thought, you know what? Let's pick him up. They want Blake Swihart, or I can trade them Blake Swihart, who's a backup catcher for us. Not going to use him for the future. Might as well make this deal. So I just need a right-handed reliever to finish the rest of the season. Strickland and Melanson are doing terrible. I'm going to pick up Hector Rendon of the Diamondbacks, and that's going to be our only move. I did sign our second move. That's going to be the last one. I did sign Trace Barrera so I can get him into the majors as a backup catcher. And then, yeah, this will be our squad now. There we go. Those are the only changes. See you guys at the end of the year. All right, so last year we only won 20 games. This year, though, actually wrong corner. We're going to go to this corner. 79 and 83. What an improvement. That's huge. So we were third and we missed out on the division by 4 games. Wow. So our average is terrible, but it looks like the pitching really carried us. And in the wild card we missed out by 15, but in the division we only missed out by 4. That's crazy. So that should mean we're not too far off on making the postseason with the way this division is going. And looking around the league, and you see I think Trout led the league in the batting average. Randy Arozarena was on the trade block, and I thought about trading for him, but he was just a little bit out of our like price range. Just couldn't get the trade done. And Jared Walsh 91. Excuse me, Jared Walsh. Okay, so maybe a couple players are a little bit overrated on this roster, but we got Rookie of the Year for Ricky DeSalvo. The Indians sent me like 4 trade offers for Ricky DeSalvo, so I might have to cash in on him while I can, because I don't think he's gonna hold his value. But let me tell you, the Indians really wanted Ricky DeSalvo, like crazy amount of trade offers for him, and he actually had a pretty good year. So we'll take a look at that in a sec. So here we go. Alex Wood is definitely a player I want to bring back. Really good season as a long reliever. I think this role fits him really well. Robbie Erlin, not so much. He ain't coming back. Rondon, not terrible. I guess it really just depends on like what he wants for the rest of the season or for next year. I might bring him back. We'll have to wait and see. Josh Osich only pitched 21 innings, but that's actually decent. Like, I'm not gonna hate on that. Adam Morgan was solid. David Hernandez struggled, which sucks because in the first half of the season, he was doing really well. He had like a 3.7 ERA or something like that. Whitgren, and then Jose Alvarez. Like, I'm actually really happy with the way this pitching is going. Carlos Rodon, okay. Homer Bailey, you know, he's still putting up really good numbers. Tyler Beatty, for a player that I did not expect a lot from, did really well. David Hale and Sandy Alcantara, for some reason, was our 5 starter. Definitely needs to move up, but you know what? 1, 2, 3, pretty solid. And like even like Homer Bailey wasn't bad, but I definitely won't be bringing back those 2 guys. Down here, we don't have too much to get too excited about, but we do have Caraway, who maybe a season or 2, and then Jared Poe, who we drafted. I don't think he's ready just yet, but he's not too far off, like for sure. Yeah, he's not too far off at all. Like, that's definitely a player I'm gonna have to keep my eye on. So looking at our bench, not great. Even Albert Almora Jr. wasn't great. And then you look at the starting lineup, Tommy La Stella. The OPS isn't high, but like the on-base percentage and the average is good. Luis Rengifo was decent. Didi Gregorius was really good. So if I really need a shortstop, I'll probably end up bringing him back. Crush Davis, 27 home runs. That's all I'm really looking for from him. Jacoby Jones, not great. Same with Wellington Castillo. Brian Goodwin, though. Okay. He might be kind of glitchy. I haven't gotten him in a while because he was kind of like my go-to glitchy player. So that's why I stopped getting him. But like, hey, if he's going to put up those numbers, I'll definitely bring him back. Phillip Erving was okay. Ricky DeSalvo was Rookie of the Year for a reason. 31 doubles, 26 home runs. Pretty decent season. You know what? Pretty happy about that. Jonah Bartley. Probably not going to get too much better. If anything, he'll go down. Jaime Rosa or Jamie Rosa. But this is the guy I'm really keeping my eye on. Lonnie Stemley. Fielding is atrocious. He can play catcher, but throws lefty and bats switch hitter. Huh. Okay. I didn't even realize he could play catcher. That's interesting. We got Linder, who definitely could get called up next year. I'm liking some of these like prospects that we got. So, okay. You know what? We didn't make the postseason. We didn't really win awards or anything, but hey, this team is moving in the right direction. The Angels win a World Series. What's going on? What's going on with this? This is wild. Okay, so I'm gonna pick up this option. It's $2.5 million, super cheap. Tyler Beatty, yes. Phillip Erving, I'm gonna decline. He wasn't great. I feel like we can get better. And same with Castillo. Are we gonna get a better catcher? We probably could, but as a backup, we'll take it. It's a super cheap contract as well. Didi Gregorius, can I get you for like another year on a $5 million deal? I'll let you be my starter for sure. Homer Bailey was great. Not gonna bring him back though. Adam Morgan, I'm gonna bring him back. Give him a bullpen option. Boom, that should be enough. And Rondon, I'm gonna hold off on Rondon. I just don't have a good feeling about it, so I'm gonna hold off on those. let's keep moving forward. 40 man, what do we got? Caraway, can't lose Caraway. Arbitration, not Irving, not Hale, and not Osich. So the bottom row, no, but the top row, yes. And then contracts, I'm going to give it to everybody that I can. I think I'm going to give it to everybody. And then looking at free agency, this is the, ooh, Christian Yelich. Christian Yelich. Huh. Seager, Correa. Oh boy. We do need pitching though. Pitching is like the area I want to focus on the most. And I don't know. I'm not like too impressed with what's available unless we go. Yeah, I'm just not too impressed with their bullpen options. It's whatever. Our bullpen was actually pretty good. Catchers doesn't look great, so we might have to make a trade. We got DeSalvo at first. I'm not gonna freak out and try to get a first baseman right now, but you know what? We could go after a third baseman. We have Didi. Second base, we have Listella and Renifo, so I'm not really looking for a second baseman, but we could always move like Didi to third and let Seager or Correa be the shortstop for us, and then Christian Yelich in left. Man, I'm kind of like all in on trying to get Christian Yelich, maybe even Michael Conforto. Like those two options aren't bad, so we might spend some money this offseason, so who knows. Alrighty, here we go. We've definitely made some huge changes to the team, like big time changes. Let's take a look here and show you. So Jose Martinez was the player. I was like, you know what, backup shortstop, backup second baseman, more like third, fourth choice, but you know what, doesn't look terrible. We've got Crush Davis. We brought him back for another season, just in case we need a power bat. And who else is someone that I should show you? Brought back Burl Caraway, Almora Jr. Here he is, Corey Seager. That's our new shortstop. We're gonna move Didi to third, and then have Tommy Listella play second. Conforto as well. I thought, you know what, if we're gonna go big, let's just go big and bring in another power bat. And Craig Kimbrell, never thought I'd go after Craig Kimbrell, but I was like, you know what, he's actually had 2 pretty decent years. We'll throw him in like the setup role or something like that. Jalen Beeks, 4 or a 5 in the rotation. I'll take a shot on him. And then Andrew Heaney is gonna be, I think, our 3 in the rotation, maybe our 2, but yeah, he's gonna be our 2 with Alcantara being our 3. But look at that. And maybe even go like that. I mean, look at those moves. Oh, Hunter Wood was somebody else we signed in free agency. I skipped that. He was available. I gave him a 1-year deal. See how he does. He hasn't pitched at all during this rebuild. So, boom, that's the team. I mean, the bullpen has been surprisingly really, really good. Now we got some decent starting rotation arms, even though our rotation hasn't been terrible since we started adding players to the squad. We called up D'Angelo Linder, so he's going to be like our backup first baseman. And then this isn't the order that I want. I'll probably end up going something like, oh, wow, we got a lot of lefties. Whoa. Oh. Yeah, we do have a lot of lefties. Jeez. All right, we might have to make a trade. I didn't realize we had this many lefties. You know what? Screw it. We're just going to go. We're going full send on the lefties, and maybe like, I don't know, who hits righties really well? Didi. Yeah, Didi can lead off. We'll have like Linder there, I guess. And then no, I don't want Almora here. Am I gonna let Crush Davis start? That's wild. That's wild. All right, that's the team. So we got this guy here still. We've got Stemley, who can play catcher, who I might throw behind the plate next year. That might be the move next year. So there we go. For bullpen help and stuff for the future, we've got Caraway still. Jared Poe probably gets called up next year, depending on how his per-9s look. We've got Richard Medeiros. We've got Corona. We've got Bunty. And I think we got somebody else too that I'm forgetting. Oh, Kenji Sasaki is a closer that definitely need to give as much time to as we can. Same thing with Wilson Bridges. So we've got names. I think this guy's another one too, Andres Torres. Man, like, we've got plenty of good bullpen arms and stuff. The lineup is what I'm worried about, because some of the players are getting a little bit older, so I don't want them to fall off, and our budget's still decent. You know, when you look at it, a lot of players hit free agency, so this is like We let some players walk. We bring some new ones in. It's just kind of like a revolving door, sadly. You really got to earn your spot here. So that's the team. See you guys at the end of the year. All right, I'm baffled. I'm baffled. Like 98-64, there's no way this team should be this good. I was expecting like 83, 84 wins, you know, maybe being like on the verge of winning a wild card spot. But this team, are you kidding me? What is with this pitching? You know, I was expecting to be like right here, you know, like this area where we'd be like 10, 7, something like that, 8 games out, you know, not winning the division and making the postseason. I'm baffled. I'm definitely baffled. No league leaders though, which is super disappointing. Alec Boehm's kind of nasty, dude. Like what is that? So maybe with this roster, some players are a little too high rated. I know they're kind of basing it off of like how they performed this year, but yeah, maybe with this roster we have a little bit of just a couple players are a little overrated. But you know what? It's cool to test out new rosters every once in a while and see how they do. So, okay. I'm noticing that some pitchers are doing a lot better, which I'd like to see because like pitching has always been a pain to try to find new pitchers that I just haven't used before, and seeing some players actually like do well and develop well. That's something I've noticed with this roster. So that's good to see. But let's take a look at this. But yeah, definitely some of the position players are a little overrated. Alex Wood's really good in this role. I really like it. Hunter Wood, solid pickup for us there. Jose Alvarez has been like lights out for us this entire rebuild. Love to see that. Alex Morgan still doing pretty well, but or Adam Morgan, not Alex. I signed him for one more year, but I might not keep him. David Hernandez was really good. We've got Kimbrel, who, I mean, not terrible, definitely not terrible, and Whitgren was outstanding, even though he blew 8 saves, but he still got the job done. Andrew Heaney was solid. Carlos Rodon had his first like bad year. He hits free agency this year, so maybe give him money. It just depends on how much he wants. Alcantara was good. Jalen Beeks was really solid too. And Tyler Beatty, you know what? As a 5, I'm more than happy with that. Let's take a look here. We got 270s, definitely not MLB ready. Andres Torres looks decent. Caraway jumped up to a 70 overall. And then Jared Poe, I think he gets the call up next year in replace of Adam Morgan. I think that's the move. So we'll take a look at our bench. Chris Davis, okay. Jose Martinez, not great. Linder, not fantastic. Almora was okay. Okay. Wellington Castillo, not too bad as a bench bat either. And then when you take a look at our second baseman, Listella, probably done. Probably need to find a new second baseman. Didi Gregorius, probably time for him to go as well. Didn't have the best of years. 22 home runs is good. It's just everything else kind of tanked. Seager did well. Conforto, not as great as his previous years, which is worrying because we just gave him the bag, you know. Jason Castro kind of did what Jason Castro does. DeSalvo kind of took a step back, which is worrying. Goodwin did well. Jacoby Jones was actually decent. You know what? I might give him another shot in center field. Renifo, not fantastic. So we definitely need to find some missing pieces for sure. Rosa's up to a 73. Maybe he becomes like a bench bat for us. Who else? Stemley. I think Stemley is going to get a shot at catcher. I think I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to give him the shot at catcher. Hopefully the CPU doesn't take him out of that role, but that's what I'm going to try to do. So here we go. Playoff time, and we get reverse swept, which is okay. I didn't expect to make the postseason this year anyway. So to make the postseason, that's a step in the right direction. Let's try and get this World Series or a good postseason appearance next year. All right, what can we do here? How much does he want? 14. I'll give it a shot. All right, so Whitgren, I definitely want to bring him back, and let's go 4 years, $4 million. Didi has been really good. I'm gonna let him walk. Listella, let it walk. Kimbrel, he was good, but I have a feeling he's gonna tank. Jason Castro, I'm gonna let walk. David Hernandez, 36 years old. He was really good. I'm just afraid at like 36, 37, overall, it's just plummets. Goodwin's been good. I'm going to do another year deal with him. $4.5 million. Alvarez. Yeah, you can come back. You can come back, my guy. He's been outstanding. Who else we got here? I'm going to decline this option. We'll pick up that option. 2.5 million, nothing. And then Almora, I'm going to bring back solely as a trade piece. That is literally the only reason I'm going to bring him back. Sadly, that's the case, but that's what I'm going to do with him. I want to see if I can get something in return if we can't get anything good in free agency. 40 man, arbitration. Everybody, yeah, everybody for sure. Contracts, everybody. And then looking at free agency, how much money do we have to spend? Not much. Oh boy. So we'll trade Almora for something. Not too sure what, but we really can't afford a big name. And when you look at it, we just kind of need to fill out this, which normally bullpen arms, pretty cheap. Like pretty cheap. This guy's going to get the call up to the bigs. So what do we need? 3 bullpen arms, which, I mean, this guy might be good enough to get called up too, but so we need 3 bullpen arms and the lineup, just a couple pieces. We're not too far off, actually. We could definitely get some sneaky pickups and be good to go. All right, let me see. A couple bullpen arms. Someone like a Alex Claudio is usually pretty cheap. We can pick up. Usually Scott Oberg does well, and he's pretty cheap. So I mean, there we go. There's 2 cheap pickups for the bullpen. Catcher, we've got that Stemley guy. And then looking at these options, oh yeah, we're set. Oh, we're gonna have a really good team next year and not have to spend a lot of money. I'll see you guys next year. All right, so we've been lacking somewhat of like a leadoff hitter, someone with good contact, since Listella's kind of been falling off. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna acquire one. Jake Cronenworth of the Padres for Jacoby Jones, Burrow Caraway, and Jose Corona. Boom. There's first move. So I went through like the outfield options, and I was trying to find someone that I normally don't get. And so I was thinking about, well, some third baseman play left field. So I was kind of going through my options, you know, Chris Bryant. There were some other ones that like I was thinking about. I was like, well, there's definitely some options out there that I could have gotten. Milker Perez. Like Milker, I barely know her. Come on. But anyways, one person that I remembered, JD Davis, can play left field. And I was like, okay, if we're going to go all out, realistically, Richard Medeiros, he looks good. The hits per 9 worry me a little bit. And I was like, we could probably trade him, DeSalvo, and then like someone we just don't use, like Gareth Morgan, or maybe like Andres Cortez. No. What about Jimmy Andrews? Jimmy Andrews. There we go. We get JD Davis. Looks pretty good. Had pretty good seasons so far since we've started this rebuild. We'll throw him in left field. Boom. There we go. So there we go. That'll be our new left fielder. He just pops right into the lineup. We got Renifo now. This is our team. I mean, talk about some off-season moves. You guys can see the contracts that we offered to these two, and then Moustakas as well. I mean, we've got our secret weapon, the lefty catcher, and then our pitching rotation stayed the exact same. The only change was Poe was added from the minors, and then Claudio on a 2-year deal. I mean, that was it. I mean, I'm really liking this team. We are currently ranked 15th. So we've actually gone from 30th to 15th. This is our highest we've ever been ranked. And I'm intrigued to see how it plays out. I'll see you guys at the end of the year. All right, another really good year. Like this might be the team. Honestly, this might be the team. 162 won the division, taking on the winner of the wild card. And we won the division by 17 games. ERA is really good for a team ERA. The average is really good. We're down to 21st, which worries me about some players' ratings. But overall, I'm really liking what I'm seeing. And we were actually the most winning team in baseball this year. We have Alex Wood with the best winning percentage. And also, okay, some changes happened. Was Alex Wood starting? No, he wasn't. Okay, interesting. So let's take a look around the league. Mountcastle's on the Rays now, along with Ozuna. Okay. Do we have anybody? Abreu, Seager's up there. I see that. Okay. Let's see. Doubles. I don't see anybody for doubles. What about triples? Definitely not triples. Okay, we got home runs. I see JD Martinez up there. Okay. All right. So it's looking like maybe it's just like a team effort that really made us a strong team. So, all right. We got an award. A Cy Young for Carlos Rodon. I'm glad we brought him back. And then Nick Whitgren's turning out to be a pretty solid addition as well. So Rodon, even though Kershaw definitely had a better year, but okay, whatever. Let's take a look here. Whitgren, reliever of the year, definitely had a really good season, it looks like. Kelenic, rookie of the year, along with Jacob Amaya. All right, let's take a look and see how everybody did, because this is going to be interesting. So it looks like the CPU brought Jared Poe down. That worries me. This is the guy we signed in free agency. I should have mentioned that. But does that mean I'm not going to be able to call him up now, aren't I? Oh, are you kidding me? Why did the CPU do that? That means they added someone. They added Miguel Rojas. What? What? Okay. What? I'm confused. All right. Overall, really happy. Holy cow, Alex Claudio. Jeez. Oh man, talk about a 1-2 punch. But like, I'm perplexed by the fact that they just signed a player. And okay, our 4 and 5 were pretty bad, but they just signed Miguel Rojas. Hold on. Alex Wood was 19-1. What happened? What happened? Also, where did all my pitchers go? I had way more pitchers. Okay, maybe. I mean, I understand. Like, I get like they signed Miguel Rojas, but like, we could have just called somebody up. We had more than enough players, or they could have signed a pitcher. Why not sign a pitcher? Why sign Miguel Rojas? That makes no sense. Why not just sign a pitcher if we need a pitcher? Not take a MLB pitcher, send him to the minors, and then sign a hitter. You know what I mean? If we needed a pitcher, sign a pitcher. It makes no sense. Jake Cronenworth was not the leadoff hitter that I was hoping he was going to be. Corey Seager, outstanding season. Conforto was had a good year as well. Same with Jose Abreu. JD Martinez. Mike Moustakas was a little eh. JD Davis was still pretty solid. Brian Goodwin's still really good. Like, I mean, for what Brian Goodwin's been putting up, I'm pretty happy that we picked him up. What? I don't understand it. It says he can play catcher. I'm looking at it right now. It says he can play catcher, and he only got 2 at-bats all year. But he played in 162 games. Like, look, So every game, they took out our catcher to replace him with... Oh, I'm gonna scream. That's so... He can play catcher. It says right there, he can play catcher. Oh man, that's super annoying. All right, let's see how the playoffs go. And we beat the Braves with ease. Like, come on. If you're gonna have, that's so annoying. That's just like the most annoying. I don't get it. So first off, we needed a pitcher, and then they signed a position player instead, and they took one of the MLB pitchers and just sent him to the minors. And then what they did was they replaced our catcher every single game. Like, come on. It makes no sense. Facing the Dodgers, and we get eliminated there. That's so annoying. All right. I mean, the Dodgers are facing the Twins in the World Series, and you know what? All right. I'm looking at the team. We've got a really good team. We were 1 series short of the World Series. I'm trying to see here. What are we looking like? You know what? I'm like really annoyed because like I know what happens if I change him to like an actual catcher. MLB The Show just automatically makes him a righty thrower, so he's not going to be a lefty thrower anymore. And that's really annoying. I'm actually like really annoyed that actually happened, because like why give him a secondary position as a catcher if you're not going to let him be a catcher, you know? And then why sign a hitter when we needed a pitcher? That makes no sense as well. So this team was really good, and it shows that you can take one of the lowest rated teams ever assembled with a couple good free agency signings and also a couple good trades here and there. You can make a pretty solid team. And you know what? I'm going to end it there. It was 3 years. We turned it around. We came 1 series short of a World Series. And to be honest, I want to keep doing this, and I really want that guy to be a catcher. But unfortunately, we just can't do it. And it's going to keep annoying me as I continue to go through this. So I'm going to leave it there. Man, such an anticlimactic ending, but I hope you guys did enjoy the video. If you did, hit that thumbs up down below. Subscribe to the channel if you're new and enjoyed the content. And of course, get in the comment section. Let me know if you've ever had something like that happen to you. Let me know what videos you want to see in the future. I mean, as soon as I finish editing and uploading this video, I'm going to start recording the next video for tomorrow. And I told you guys, I'm back on the grind. I'm ready to get back on this YouTube grind. I'll catch you all in the next one, guys. Peace.